my loyal and intuitive Cancer friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Cancer, there is a quiet hum beneath your week, as if something subtle is shifting inside you. You might notice a flicker of uncertainty laced with hope, the sense that things you thought were settled have started to move beneath the surface. Maybe it's not loud or dramatic. It could be a small ache, a restlessness you can't quite name, or a gentle longing for something to steady you. There is comfort in the familiar, but lately, comfort itself doesn't feel as secure as it once did. You may be holding your breath, waiting for the next sign, unsure whether change is arriving as a friend or as a challenge. Even as you carry on with routines, there's a sense that the ground is quietly shifting. This isn't a crisis but a subtle tension, like standing at the edge of something new, not yet ready to step forward, not able to step back. You hold your own counsel for now, tuning in to the silent questions that only you can hear. It's in these quiet moments this week that the emotional weather begins to gather and form. The wheel of fortune turns quietly behind your eyes, bringing a sense of movement you didn't ask for but can't avoid. You might feel like you're living through a series of small interruptions, plans that shift, moods that turn with the hour, moments of luck or reversal that leave you a little dizzy. There's a restlessness, but also a caution. You sense that the story is picking up speed, yet you're not certain who is riding it. This can leave you feeling both hopeful and wary, as if you're watching for signs of which way the wheel will turn next. Your inner state is marked by a blend of anticipation and resistance. You want to trust that things will work out, but there's a lingering worry about what you can't control. In quiet moments, you may catch yourself wondering if you're being swept along by something bigger than your own choices. The desire for stability runs deep, but so does the curiosity about what might be waiting just beyond your line of sight. You might notice yourself oscillating between wanting to anchor down and wanting to let go. Sometimes, the urge to hold tightly to what's familiar is stronger than the call to embrace something new. At other times, you feel the pull of possibility, the whisper that change might bring gifts. These contradictions don't have to be resolved right now. Allowing yourself to feel them fully is part of the process. The wheel of fortune rarely gives you the answers you want in advance. Instead, it turns, and you are asked to find your balance in motion. This week, your emotional posture is shaped by the quiet tension of not knowing what will change, not knowing what will stay the same, not knowing which part of you is ready to adapt and which part wants to dig in. You are living in the space between anticipation and acceptance, a place where everything feels both possible and uncertain. It's from this unsettled ground that your week's path begins to unfold. When your inner state is so attuned to change, even ordinary events can feel charged with significance. The sense of waiting, the urge to prepare for anything, ripples out into your choices and experiences. You may find yourself responding more sensitively to small shifts in mood or circumstance. The very act of wanting stability can draw your attention to everything that feels unstable, making daily life feel more dynamic than usual. Each choice feels weightier, each interaction more meaningful, as if the world is echoing back your own sense of anticipation. The Empress arrives on your path, bringing both comfort and complexity. She shows up as an invitation to nurture the world around you, even as you're navigating your own uncertainty. There is a pressure to create, to care, to make space for growth, whether that means tending to your relationships, your home, or your own sense of well-being. Yet this invitation can come with its own friction. You may feel pulled between giving generously and protecting your own reserves. The expectations placed upon you by others or by yourself may feel heavier as the week unfolds. The urge to provide, to keep the peace, to hold everyone together, can be both a source of strength and a source of strain. Perhaps you notice moments when you want to retreat, to gather yourself before returning to the responsibilities and pressures that surround you. There is a natural momentum to care for others, to create beauty from the raw materials of daily life, but it isn't always easy. Sometimes the very abundance you're asked to offer feels scarce within yourself. The friction arises when you try to balance these competing needs, to be present for those who depend on you while honoring your own need for space and restoration. This week, the world may seem more demanding. People may ask more of you, or you may feel compelled to reach out and offer support. There can be a sweetness in nurturing, but also a quiet fatigue that grows when your efforts go unnoticed. The Empress is a reminder that your capacity to give is real, but it must be replenished. The pressures of the week are not just external, they come from your desire to live up to your own ideals of care and generosity. The path is alive with choices: how much to give, when to hold back, how to maintain your own sense of well-being while tending to others. This is not a burden, but it is a responsibility. The friction and momentum come from wanting to do right by others, while quietly wondering if you are also doing right by yourself. It is in these moments that your path becomes most vivid, shaped by the interplay of inner longing and outward action. Moving from this landscape of pressures and choices, your potential opens if you decide to meet the moment with awareness. The outcome won't be written by accident. It's not enough for things to simply happen to you. Your presence in the process shapes what becomes possible. The shifts and demands of the week invite you to move gently, to notice where you have choice and where you do not. Your openness to conscious engagement determines the shape of what grows from this week's challenges and gifts. The Nine of Wands emerges here, not as a sign of struggle, but as an invitation to recognize your resilience. You have carried so much already, Cancer, and this week's experiences may add to the sense of weariness you sometimes feel. But there is also quiet strength in you, a recognition that you have come through cycles of change before and have learned how to stand your ground when it matters. This is not a time to prove yourself to anyone else. It is a moment to notice the depth of your own endurance. Growth, in this context, is not about pushing harder or doing more. It's about honoring what you've already weathered and allowing yourself to rest in the knowledge that you are capable of moving through uncertainty. The invitation is to trust your instincts, to let yourself pause when you need to, and to remember that persistence does not mean exhaustion. The Nine of Wands asks you to see the value in your own boundaries, to recognize that you are allowed to protect your energy even as you continue to show up for what matters. This week, growth might look like saying no without guilt, or like gently reminding yourself that nothing is lost when you honor your own limits. The world may be asking much of you, but your inner wisdom knows how to respond with both courage and care. The potential here is not about triumph or breakthrough. It is the quiet realization that you are enough, exactly as you are, even as the world keeps turning. When you look back at the shape of this week, you may see how these three energies have woven together. The wheel of fortune brought you to a place of gentle uncertainty, where you had to find your balance in motion. The Empress invited you to nurture and create, even as you navigated the pressures and needs that surrounded you. The Nine of Wands reminded you of your own resilience, quietly urging you to value your limits as much as your gifts. Together, these themes create a tapestry of movement, care, and endurance. There is no single answer, no neat solution, but there is a sense of continuity, a feeling that you are carried forward by your own capacity to adapt, to care, and to persist. The emotional tension that began the week doesn't disappear, but it softens into acceptance. You realize that change isn't always something to resist. Sometimes it is simply the way life asks you to grow. Through it all, you remain steady at your center, returning to yourself with each turn of the wheel. By the end of the week, reassurance comes not from the world outside, but from the quiet strength you discover within. You are still here, still caring, still standing, and that is enough. Actionable insights for Cancer this week. Notice how it feels to take a single, unhurried breath before responding to someone's need. Let yourself enjoy a familiar comfort, something soft, warm, or nourishing, without rushing on to the next thing. If you feel tired, give yourself permission to pause, even for just a moment. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am steady, even when life moves around me. I honor the care I give and receive. Each limit I set is another way I trust myself. With each new day, my strength grows quietly within. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.